The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday night. Wind's blowing. Cindy Mitch, good to see you. Heidi's always a pleasure, and definitely a pleasure seeing Kevin in the rooms. My guest tonight, Miss Kelly Smith, due to unfortunate circumstances, she won't be able to come on tonight, but we'll get her on as soon as we can, as soon as possible. So tonight is an open discussion. You know, there's a thing I looked up. I don't know why it popped into my head, but I guess it had to pop into my head. I don't know. Well, I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, Sunday nights from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. and on Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Don't forget this Tuesday, I'm going to have my friend Maxim and Fury come on, and he's going to be talking about a new book he has, and also going to be talking about this conference that's coming up here pretty soon. I think next weekend. So tune in Tuesday night, 8:10, and check out Maxim. Hey, Rob, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. So, I don't know. I mean, you know, things like that happen to where, you know, the guest cancels, and you know what? It's okay. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know what's been happening lately. Oh, thank you, Mohid. Thank you. But there's just a lot of stuff going on out there in the world. Like I say, every time it's like a broken record. and to see people who you love just, you know, kind of like, I'm not saying losing it, I'm saying just dwindling. I like that word better. It's okay. Thank you, Mo. And when this person was such a strong person that I know and I remember, and now it's getting pretty bad, and it's real hard to deal with it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that before I get into the show a little bit. So I'm not going to tell you who it is, okay? But it's somebody very, very close to me and somebody who I truly love. And it does take a toll by watching this person just decline. Here goes the internet. Nope, there we go. Thank you, Christopher. And it just takes a toll on your mental health. And when, hey, Squats, man, good to see you, buddy. And when you're doing all kinds of, I know you do, Robert. I know you do. I'm glad you do. Hey, Carla, good to see you. Shark, the buffalo, and the dolphin. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. But what I want to say is that you have to be strong. I know I got to be strong. And sometimes I'm grateful for that I'm working and, trying to, deal with my life. But I'm kind of putting my life on hold because of this person. And but it is definitely taken a toll. The thing is that there are times when she has some good days and she has some bad days. And recently she's been having a ton of bad days. And she's starting to see ghosts and all kinds of other things. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. In fact, she kind of likes them because they keep her entertained. But what I want to talk about is what I am doing for me. And hopefully what I'm doing for me can help everybody else out who's having the same type of problem y'all having. Now, you listen to a lot of podcasts out there. I do. And it seems like there's a lot of people who are afraid to share, you know. They're on what's happening. I don't think it's because, they want to. I don't think it's because they have to, but I have always been open and honest with everybody that who I am and what's going on. Because right now you see me and you might think I'm doing okay, but I'm not. And no pity parties, please. It's something that you go through when you see someone you love just going down. And the way I deal with it is I go to work and I come home from work and I sit with her and just let her talk and let her tell all the ghosts that are in the house. It's kind of funny. It really is. She likes the ghost. And that's cool. At least she's smiling, and she knows that I hunt ghosts. Ooh. Thank you very much, Mean. Appreciate that. I wrote your name down. I'll check it out. But thank you for that. But it's just all something different now. But I have to be honest with everybody. I don't want no pity parties. I don't want people to feel sorry because you know what? It's life. And how we deal with life in our own certain ways is how we make it every day. I am so grateful up in the morning. Oh wow, I made it through the night. And I wake up and I ask Spirit, you know what? Let me kind of hang around for today. You know. Okay, Ghost Shadow says, caught a bit of your stream. When do you usually go live? Sunday nights, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. And on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Okay. All right, Gas Shadow 1. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. I will definitely write that down. SHADOW1. Okay. Menkura. And what that? MEENQURA. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. But I just put my that wouldn't be good right now, Rob, but I truly appreciate it. Thank you for asking, but right now it's not a good time, my friend. It's not a good time. Maybe down the road a wee bit. But thank you for asking. Just keep her in your prayers, Rob, please. But I'm just going one day at a time when I wake up. And you know what? And I look at it. Hey, Joni. And I look at it like this, everybody. I learned something when I was in recovery. It was called one day at a time. And that's how I'm living my life right now, is one day at a time. I really never did understand the concept of that sign, that one line, one day at a time, but now I do. And it is getting me through these hard times right now. I have to take it 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. And this is a whole new ball game for me. You know, so, I mean, she took care of me all my life. And you know what? That's perfectly fine with me. Now, I'll tell you what pisses me off. Really, truly pisses me off is when I see children, when I see young adults, even older adults, don't spend a dime or even a minute with their parents. They don't want to talk to them. I'm not speaking about everybody. I'm sure there's a lot out there, others that, you know, stay in touch and help their parents out, but there's a lot that don't. And it pisses me off. And I'll be honest with you, I was one of them people a long time ago. I was. I didn't want to talk on the internet. Maybe I'm not supposed to be talking about this stuff. I don't know. But I'm talking about it. And so why your mom and dad did everything in the world for you. It might have been a strain. Maybe the parents didn't do something hot, or there was a bad relationship going on. You know, I don't know what's going on. You know, and it's not right for me to judge that. You know, and you got to take care of them. I don't care how pissed off you are at them. I see young adults, the young teen shit. And I'm just thinking to myself, my God, if I did that back then, I got my ass whipped in the grocery store and when I got home from my mom. And then when my dad came home, I got it from him. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. And I just don't like it when when kids and young adults disrespect their parents. Hey, Michelle, it really bothers me because what I know now, my gosh, my whole life has changed almost. And I'm, with it. I really believe, hey, Donna, there are plenty of times that I would say I had everything ready to go, move out, get my own apartment, whatever. And something would happen where I couldn't do nothing. Thanks, John. She's going to be okay. If people could actually say some prayers for her, I'd appreciate it. Heidi says, I'm back. The Ravens were yelling for her. I went back there and I saw a heartbeat. It's been a weird day. Yeah, it's been a weird day. Well, I'm glad you're safe, Heidi. But you have to really, you got to take care of your mom and dad. Or your stepmom and your stepdad. You got to do it because they sacrificed so much shit for you and did what they had to do for you. And you ignored them. And this is when they need you the most. My son's 36. He lives out in Indianapolis. And it's funny the way our phone conversations go. It's like if I talk for 45 seconds with him on the phone, that's a normal conversation. And if I talk to him on the phone for 3 minutes, we run out of things to say to each other. It's crazy. I remember when he was born, I made a promise to him, God, and myself that I would tell him that I love him every day. And I do that. And I did it. And I really believe that the energy that I had from Spirit or God, whoever, just gives me the strength to hold on to that I love you. And I'm seriously mean it when I say it to him. And I remember one time we talked, I hung up. He called me right back. And he said, Dad, you forgot something. I said, what's that, buddy? Shit. And I did. Now, me and my son don't talk that lot. Joni says she knows what I mean. She's not a phone person either. Yeah. I can't be on the phone. I don't know. It must be my ADHD or whatever. I don't know. But he's there. I'm there. I'm here. And we have the best relationship going, even though I don't see him every day. But to have conversation with me, you should have conversation with your parents. I remember, I hated my mom. I hated her because, she was so demanding and, like she had to be. When my son was born, she was the first one to babysit. She was the one to get him formula when he needed it. And I realized, I said, oh my God, all this bad shit I said about my mom. And here she is taking care of her grandson, helping out. My whole outlook on my mother changed the minute my son was born. She was there. She was there to help. She was there to show love. And I mean, them two are like peas in a pod now, man. He calls her 3 days a week, talks for about a half hour. And you could just see the smile. Whenever she talks to him on the phone, you should see the smile on her face. And that's a grandson talking to his grandma. Can you imagine what it'd be like if someone out there would spend 15 minutes on the phone talking to their parents? There's a commercial out there that I saw recently, the other day. I think it was a Uber driver. And he saw a kid texting. And he turned around and he looked at the kid and he said, why are you spending all this time texting where you can actually make a phone call? Oh, yes, so, Robert, he is. Oh, my God, yes. Yes, he is. Donna says, I took care of my mom and dad until both passed away. I moved them into a home on my property. I was with both when they took their last breath. God bless you, Donna. God bless you. Paul is the apple of her life, Rob. You should see him now, dude. He is like, he's got brains. He's got his doctorate in microbiology. He deals with DNA, E. coli, and all that good crap. But do me a favor, everybody, tonight or tomorrow morning, and if your parents are still around, give them a call and talk to them for at least 10 minutes. Give them a call and tell them that you love them. It won't hurt. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that would hit. And when you make that phone call and you tell them that, your parents are just going to be so ecstatic. They're going to probably say, well, what the hell do you want? But no, when they hear that, and you sincerely mean it when you say that. Sincerely say that. It will change everything for that moment, for that day. It'll put a smile on their face, and it'll probably put a smile on their face. So just call instead of text, instead of an email. But we are coming up at the bottom of the hour. It's 8:34 p.m. and um, it's time to go take my break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about the Bridgewater Triangle. You know, I have to say, I have to mention that my guest, to uncertain situation happened where she couldn't make it tonight. So it's an open discussion and an open mic of whatever happens during the show. But we will definitely have Miss Kelly Smith back on again when things are okay. Cindy Mitch says, I'm so lucky I get to talk to my parents every day for hours on the phone. Aren't you lucky? I'm telling you, it's great. So to conclude this half hour of this show, my condolences, Johnny. My condolences. Whenever I'm missing my dad, I go out to the cemetery and I sit there. I pull out a chair. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, windy, or whatever. When I'm missing my dad, I go out to where he's laid out, grave, the cemetery, and I talk to him. And I talk to him. So, and before we go on, everybody, just respect your parents. Love your parents. And if you have no parents, because I tell you what right now, maybe not now, but down the road, there's going to be a time where you're going to need them. You need your parents or your step parents. You're going to need them. And they're not around anymore. And what are you going to do? So we're going to take a break. I'll see you back in 2 minutes. And we're going to talk about the Bridgewater Triangle and get some happiness in here. Okay. Here we go. See you in 2 minutes. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Hey, thank you, Kevin. To Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is this like the right one introduction. I want to thank UPRN Type 105.3 New Orleans, Mississippi 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week. on this wonderful platform, United Public Radio Network. Um, so, like I said, Miss Kelly Smith, who was supposed to be my guest tonight, due to stuff that happened, that she just couldn't make it tonight. But we are definitely going to have her on next week. Okay, well, not next week. I'm sorry. Sometime in the future. Wednesday night, I'm having my friend Maxim Furyk come on. He's going to talk about his new book. And also, there is a conference going on somewhere in Pennsylvania this weekend coming up. So, talk a little bit about that too. So, if you're not doing anything on a Tuesday night, come in, check out the show, and listen to Maxim. Pretty interesting dude is what he is. So since Kelly couldn't make it tonight, so it's an open discussion, open mic, whatever you want to talk about. And, I was sitting here wondering, well, what the hell can I talk about tonight? And then all of a sudden, the Bridgewater Triangle came popping in my mind. And we did have a guest a long, long time ago in Chasing Prophecy. Me and Jenny did. But I also have a friend, Richie, who, like, it's his back door. It's like his backyard. And hopefully he'll a little bit more about his experiences in the Triangle. So, of course, I went to Wiki, and I'm going to read from Wiki, and that's okay. It's my show. But the Bridgewater Triangle is an area about 200 square miles within southeastern Massachusetts in the United States. And it's going to be the site of an alleged paranormal phenomenon, ranging UFOs to poltergeist and other spectral phenomena. Various Bigfoot-like sightings, giant snakes, and thunderbirds. The term was coined by the New England-based cryptozoologist Warren Coleman. Now I'm going to click on, I'm going to head down a little bit here, see here. Okay. Now, the historic places and landmarks, okay, and these are the landmarks, and hopefully when Richie comes on the show, that he will talk a little bit more about this. But the first one is Freetown Fall River State Forest. It's a Freetown Fall River State Forest has reportedly seen the site of various cult activity, including animal sacrifices, ritualistic murders committed by admitted Satanists, as well as a number of gangland murders and a number of suicides. Now, let me tell you something, okay? Now, I'm an open person, and I respect everybody's belief, and it's shit like this, the way it's put in into a reading or into Wiki or whatever about, admitted Satanists, okay? Now, I don't know if they want to have their 15 minutes of fame when they're doing this shit. Ooh, look at me, I'm a Satanist, and I'm going to be like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're going to kill animals and do spells and do different types of stuff. No, I am friends with a lot of Satanists. Okay, and I have Frater Crow. He's a very dear friend of mine, and I've had him on my show many, many, many a time. And his group, okay, I don't know how to pronounce their group, but I tell you what, they are the nicest people in the world, okay? They are the nicest people in the world. And the only thing different is that they practice Satanism. What makes them a bad person? What makes them bad people? Is it because TV tells them or tells everybody they are? No. It seems a lot of people judge Satanists. They judge them. They shouldn't. You're not allowed to judge. Only one person is allowed to judge. But like I said, and I said many a times, whatever path you are walking on and whatever you feel comfortable with that is helping you on the path of life, don't break it. Continue with it. Continue what you believe and walk it. So, like it when, you know, written in this shit about admitted Satanists, I think they just want their 15 minutes of fame. It's just like witches and warlocks, too. You know what I mean? Witches, I have a lot of friends who are witches and warlocks, man, and they're. But then again, but again, with the media and the news and movies and TV shows, man, they treat them like they're rotten, that they're bad, and they're not. They're not. They're good people. The supposed site of where the Wampanoag, it's a historical figure, Anawan received the lost wampum belt from Philip. Okay, I know the story, but I don't know the story. So I don't know. Just bear with me. Legend has it the ghost of a man can be seen sitting on a rock with his legs crossed or with outstretched arms located within the town Falls Forest. Okay, so thank you, Cindy, and it's true. Now, they call this the profile rock, right? And it's cool if they see a man there sitting on a stone with his legs crossed or his hands out. That's great. So here's my question to you, everybody out there. If by any chance that you're walking in the woods and all of a sudden you see a spectral, being there sitting on the rocks, they see you, you see them, what would you do? Would you go up high? My name is Sean. Because more than likely they can read your thoughts too. Oh yeah, absolutely. What if it was an alien? If you saw an alien sitting on a rock, what would you do? I'd like to hear people's answers, if you want to talk about it. Carla says, I've seen it. I know you have, hon. I know you have. But what are you going to do? Bushy Run Park, definitely, dear. Definitely. And what I like about Bushy Run Park, it was back, I want to say, when the French and American War was going on. General Braddock up there. I don't know the whole history run, but it's definitely freaking haunted. And it's got some spectrals up there that, a lot of ghosts up there. But I'd like to know what you guys would do if you happen to see a ghost or a alien sitting on a rock. Would you go over to it? Would you? I would. And it's not saying that I'm, big, brave, get my ego in the way. I just want to say, I just want to go and maybe shake their hand or whatever. Don't know. If they can read my mind, I bet you I could read theirs too. Carla says, my great times 10 grandfather was the assistant general of the war. He was at the helm of Mendez. Oh, wow. It's crazy, Carla. Great time. 10 grandfathers. Wow. But Bushy Run is definitely a very, very haunted battlefield. And we're not too far away from it. Now you got the Solitude Stone up here, as in Scrub. I went there to make an atonement and apologize about 40 feet from me. I saw him. That was sweet of you to do that. That was sweet of you to do that, Carla. Carla actually went and apologized to all the lost souls up there in Bushy Run, and apologized for what her 10 times grandfather did. I think that takes a lot of That's really cool. So the solid, let's see. Cindy says, yes, I would talk to them as they would be able to communicate with me. Okay, Cindy will go. I know Carla would go and check them out. She brought them a gift of tobacco and fruit. I brought. Okay. And then Stone located near Forest Street in West Bridgewater, which was found near a missing person's body, also known as the suicide stone. Yeah. The rock was found with the inscription, "All who in future days walk by Nunkesser." I can't pronounce that word. Oh, it's a stream. It's called the Nunketetsa. That's why we need Richie here. Stream, love not him who hummed his lay cheerful to the parting beam, but the beauty that he wooed. I don't have a clue what that all meant. Okay, but it was in quotation mark. Bridgewater State University, several buildings are in camps and other paranormal phenomena. Just Gettysburg, college of Gettysburg up there. They had a lot of hauntings in the college. Especially that famous one when two people walked into the elevators and they went down. They ended up down to the basement. They actually opened up, and the basement doors opened up. There was doctors actually operating on Civil War soldiers. Then you have Taunton State Hospitals have claimed that being touched and pulled in certain areas of the hospital. It is also claimed that the hospital will use. Here we go again. Here we go. Hey, Facey Ace. Here we go. The state hospital is also claimed that the hospital was used by satanic cults during the 1960s and 70s. Here we go with the satanic. If it was, so what? What's it going to do? Bring negative energy? Yeah. But you can be a regular person and bring negative energy and demons. You don't have to be a Satanist. So, again, I want to say that that's hard for me to believe. Maybe it was, but I feel that it wasn't. It's just something that they need to put in there to make the state hospital sound a little bit more, I guess, scary. The Hornbein School, the one-room schoolhouse, was built during the 1840s and remained in active use until 1937. The building is alleged to be haunted by its former inhabitants. Hey, Mish, good to see you. The Hokomock Swamp, a large wetland that is much of the northern part of southeastern Massachusetts and is considered the largest freshwater swamp in the state. It served as a major part of King Philip's War, as a strategic base of operations for Metacomet, also known as King Philip, to launch assaults upon the nearby English settlements. Hokomock is an Algonquin term meaning place where spirits dwell. Hokomock was also a native burial ground. Many stories and legends are associated with the swamp. Due to this, even in modern times, it is considered by many to be a place of mystery and fear. The paranormal claims of the Bridgewater Triangle. Okay. UFOs, often in the form of bright balls of light or large unusual spacecraft. Unnatural animal sightings, ranging from unusual reports of animals that are not found within the area. such as panthers and bears. Two more supernatural claims of giant snakes and enormous vicious dogs. And then they're called hellhounds. If everyone wants to know, they're called hellhounds. Paranormal humanoids, including sightings of Bigfoot, ghosts, poltergeists, and shadow people. So, personally, it sounds like the Chestnut Ridge Mountains up here in some kind. The Thunderbird sightings, giant birds or pterodactyl light flying creature with wingspans up to 12 feet, between Taunton and Easton. Okay, here we go. Cult activity, especially animal mutilations. Various incidents of animal mutilations have been reported, particularly in Freetown and Fall River, where local police were called to investigate mutilated animals believed to be the work of a cult. Two specific incidents in 1998 were reported, one in which a single adult cow was found butchered in the woods, and the other in which a group of calves were discovered in a clearing, grotesquely mutilated as a part of a ritual sacrifice. Maybe it was some dude on freaking high on LSD or Quaaludes or whatever and decided to go out and kill a cow. Again, as I bring it up, how do we know it was cult? I don't believe it. Native American curses. According to one tale, Native Americans had cursed the swamp centuries ago because of the conflict with colonial settlers. A revered object of the Wampanoag people, a belt known as the Wampum Belt, was lost during King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal unrest to the fact that this belt was lost from the native people. And again, I cannot wait to bring Richie on board to talk about this. And our favorite creature, Pukwudgies. Pukwudgie, a creature from the Algonquin folklore. The local Wampanoag people consider these little people to be dangerous tricksters, especially associated with the Freetown State Forest with the Bridgewater Triangle. So that's basically it, according to Wikipedia, on the Bridgewater Triangle. Now, I'm sure there are other places out there in the United States or in the world where they have their own triangle. I know Alaska has one. And when we go on break, okay, I'm going to look it up and I'll probably end up reading that one if I can find it. But I want to know what your opinion is. Please tell me, everybody, what's your opinion on these triangles? What do you think? Do you think this is just a bunch of hogwash? Do you actually believe that it might be true? I would like to hear everybody's opinion on it. I mean, because everything they described in this triangle is everywhere, not just in Bridgewater. Okay. And not if I want to say that the cults were mutilating animals, well, people are mutilating animals everywhere in the United States and over the world. So, to me personally, being in the paranormal field for so long, okay, I kind of believe it. But some of them stories out there are a little bit outrageous, I think. But I guess they have to be outrageous. And I'm sure there are people out there that make money doing ghost paranormal tours out in the Bridgewater Triangle. And that's okay. Pyramids and triangles are a power source. So true, Mish. Pyramids and triangles. Okay. Mish got a good point there. With triangles are a power source. But Mish, what's the power source for Bridgewater, Massachusetts? Is it just enough energy from, the triangle to allow all these orbs, all these spirits, all these pukwudgies, all them, just become more seeable? I guess you want to say that, more seeable. No word to put there. But when it comes down to the Bridgewater Triangle, and it's been talked about for a very long time, and there's a very good history behind it. I'm going to look more into this because I'm going to bring my buddy Richie in, and we're going to talk about the Bridgewater Triangle. Because it is an interesting read. It is, ever since we did that one show, me and Jenny did that one show, it's just like on my bucket list. That's where something I want to go. What's inside the earth? Well, I don't know, dear. Do not know. But we are at 9:01 p.m. We're going to take another break and we'll come back and we'll discuss something else. So hang in here for a couple minutes and I will see you too. Go pee, have a Coke and a smile, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, and I'll see you in 2. Oh, wow. Here we go. I'm going to play 2 more. Don't leave. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. My guest tonight, Miss Kelly Smith, cannot make it tonight. So we're having a week, and I'm just picking random things out to speak and talk about tonight. Tuesday night, I'll have my friend, thank you, Mish. Um, Tuesday night, I'll have my friend Maximum Fury come on and talk about his new book. And also, there is some type of conference going on in Pennsylvania right now. And I think he's going to talk a little bit about that. So if you're not doing anything Tuesday night, come on, like kind of like come and listen to Maximum go on and talk about everything. So I'm looking forward to that again. Mish, what you said, what's inside the earth? I really don't know because I didn't do no research, but my friend Richie, I'm sure you can come up with something because he lives there, so, but like I was saying before, any triangles, um, gotta have some kind of power to it, and just trying to figure out what the power is. Look at the Bermuda Triangle. When I was in the Navy, I went through the Bermuda Triangle at least 4 or 5 times, and I never got lost. The instruments on the ship didn't go around and go off. So, see, that's where I contradict with. This is things like that. You know, you hear stories about the World War II pilots and the planes and all kinds of shit that happened during the triangle. But why is it not happening when I go to the triangle? You know what I mean? When I was in the Navy, why wasn't I? Nothing happened to me. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But back to the show. You know what, Mitch? I will look into it and I'll get back to you on Tuesday nights about it. Dang wasn't good enough for high strangeness. There's a lot of high strangeness going on right now, buddy. A lot of it. But is anybody out there in the chat room that has something they would like to bring up and talk about? Anybody? They can talk about anything, or I was thinking of, I don't know if anybody ever watched the show Missing 411. Um, David Paulides, he wrote the book, and I do believe he did a show on it. And it's about people who went out in the woods and they got abducted and never were heard from again. Okay. We did a show on it, me and Jenny again, and how this world turned to shit. Don't worry, sir. Don't worry about that. We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mish. But I remember the one story. No, I ain't ignoring you. You can't do that, Mish. Nope. The one story I remember from Missing was the first one where there was like 7 or 8 hunters that went up into the woods and they were hunting. And so this old guy was sitting on a rock by himself, and everybody else spread out. So it was time for them to go back to the cabin, I guess, whatever. And when they went back to the big rock where this dude was sitting on, right? Okay, where this dude, he was gone, nowhere to be found. And they searched for a long time. I think it was, I mean, they brought in the military, other kinds. It was a big search for this guy, and they could not find him. And from what I understand, there was two people from one of the alphabet company agencies were up there, and they kept everything quiet. They did not want to talk about it, and whoever talked about it got into a lot of trouble. Okay, which isn't cool, but that's what they did. Now, a lot of people were thinking, okay, maybe he just got abducted by an alien or a UFO. Or maybe he walked in through a portal and never came back. No one knows. But, and here's where it gets kind of interesting for me on that story, especially that story. So at the time that this happened, they had people, looking at all the UFO activity that was happening in that area time that this man disappeared. Okay. And there was a lot of UFOs in that area. But what caught my mind was, why do aliens want us? Kelly Porter. Hi, good evening to see you. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Kelly is from the New Hampshire Bigfoot Society. Awesome. But why would they why would they abduct an old man? Why do people get abducted by aliens? Why? Now, I've been on this platform for over 6 years now. Thank you. And I have been on shows and I've done shows where they talk about alien abduction. In fact, my very good friend Joe Montaldo, he talks about it. He deals with it. And each time I hear a story, each time I listen to a guest talking about it, I'm like, why would they want us for? Then you got the big debate going on. Well, they want to know what we're like. If they know what they're like, but why? It's totally understandable. It's totally not understanding, you know. And we also had, I forget Trevor, the one guy got abducted in the woods. He was working for a logging company, and we had him on. And there's a show on it, a movie like, and I know I'm sounding like I'm crazy or something like that, but I'm sorry about that. But Travis Walton, we had him on the show, and we had him on as a guest. Now we asked him directly. We asked Travis, we're like, was it anything like what we saw on that movie that they made about it? And he laughed and he said no. He said that was made for, TV. Fire in the Sky was the name of the show. Yeah, Travis Walton. And Fire in the Sky. Very good, interesting man to talk to. But he just said whatever you saw on TV or in the movies, it wasn't for real. It wasn't real at all. He really didn't want to talk about it, which is totally understandable. But, something like that, I believe. But these other things were these other, like missing 411, about the old man missing from the rock. It just blows me away. Now, I questioned everybody out there, and I would like to have an answer. If you'd like to give me an answer, would you want to be abducted? Would you want to be abducted? Or have you been abducted already? When it comes to that question for me, when I answer that question, you know what? I don't know if I want to or not. Now, do I have control over it from all the things in which I hear? People getting snatched up at night. This says, depends what they do to me. Okay. Which is a good thing that you brought up, Mish. I like that because when you go up into a UFO, if you get, Abducted, can you say, hey, listen, I don't really want to do this. You can do whatever you want, but I know this is going to hurt me, so please don't do this. Is it possible that they won't do it to you? I don't think so, but it'd be kind of cool. She came back and said, Mish said, if they are going to hurt me, then no. I really haven't talked to anybody who abductee or anybody, who, got picked up by the UFO. And look at Travis Walton's situation. Look at Travis Walton, right? How come his other buddies didn't get up there with him? Why didn't they go up into the spaceship just Travis? Did the aliens just choose Travis? Did the aliens choose that old man that was sitting on the rock, which never came back? And they say if you see a UFO, you have been in that UFO. Huh. Or did they and they don't remember? No. The boys that he was with, no, they did not. They never went. They weren't abducted like Travis was. There's a show, there's a movie about it. It's called Fire in the Sky, the Travis Walton story. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. Do I want to be abducted? Yeah, why not? Maybe they can cure my cancer. Maybe they can cure epilepsy. Maybe they can cure whatever. Or, stick a needle in my eye? I don't think so. Miss says, yes, I know, but if aliens can manipulate time and space. My question to you would be, Miss, come back and ask you, I said, would they want to manipulate it? AI viewers, streamboo.com. Okay, thanks, Roll. Would they want to manipulate it? There was a Navy. There was a war film where the U.S. I forget what carrier it was, went through a portal, and here they got stuck in 1942, 43, when we were duking it out with Japan. And then the one officer, he didn't quite make it back on the ship. Eventually, long story short, what happened was when they went back through the portal, it was back to the regular time, and they pulled into port, and there was this officer that didn't make it through with the ship. And he looks like old and gray. This says, I'd say they would, and is time and space only in your mind? How many levels of time and space are there? Yeah, wow, Mish, I never saw you go that far to the right on that one. Nah, you're not getting weird, dude. You're just being this who we love, man. This is who you are. This is who we love. So you could say that. That's not a problem. Okay. So, what do you think, guys? Do you want to get abducted? Do you want to see what it looks like on the UFO? And look at all the other aliens, different types of aliens. You got the grays. Mish says, I see life as many circles of time and space. So, yeah, why not? Why not get abducted? Maybe where they would take us. Yes, I would, as long as I can bring you. Okay. Excuse me. But I don't know. Your different aliens. You got your greys. You got your reptiles. See, to me, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've done many shows about aliens, UFOs, and reptilians, but I still cannot grasp the concept of it. Now, that might sound weird. Okay. Oh, gosh. Welcome back, Heidi. Good to see you. Mish, Heidi, Mish. But I really don't understand that much about aliens and the different, you know, UFOs, the different galaxies that we have out there. I have a problem understanding it. And I'm allowed to say that because it's true. And I don't want to tell you anything tonight that I might not have the right answer for y'all. And so I really don't want to get really too involved, talking about it. Oh, yeah. He said, Miss says, want to get abducted with us. Hey, why not? Let's make it a party, an abduction party. I don't know. I'm starting to draw a blank on UFOs. Cindy says, I'm not sure of it all either. But they do exist. I saw the UFO, plain as day. I saw it plain as day. But the only way I know, I'm still on the fence a little bit. I saw the first part where UFOs. I saw that. But I actually want to see an alien. And when I can shake an alien's hand, then I know I can come around full circle and say aliens and UFOs do accept are for real. This says, I want to know why ghosts who when human were abducted by aliens don't talk about it. When they are what are you talking about, Miss Mish? When they are ghosts. I want to know why ghosts, when they are ghosts who, when human were abducted by aliens, don't talk about it. Holy wow there, Lord Mish. I don't know what now you're trying to say, but I love you, dear. I don't know what ghosts would say. But I know I'm stuttering a little bit, and I'm trying to keep up with the aliens and the UFOs, but I'm going to be totally brutally honest with you, everybody. I don't understand it at all. Okay, so Mish says, so you are alive, get abducted, then you die. Ghosts don't talk about it. Oh, okay. Thank you, dear. I understand. Why do you think it's odd, Mish? Care to share? Then you die. Ghosts don't talk about it. Why would they want to talk about it? I mean, you can take that down another rabbit hole there, sweetheart, by just saying that one sentence. I don't know. I know in my past experience, dealing with the paranormal and doing paranormal investigations, ghosts want to talk. They want to talk about what happened to them. They want to tell people. They want to talk to people. Oh, well, would you like to share your alien experience? Oh, okay, Mish. My mind's not here today, but I understand what you're talking about. But back to the ghosts who want to talk. If you know you're in a haunted place and you know that there's a ghost hanging around, a lot of people will say, you'll start hearing voices in your head. And a lot of people will be telling you it's your subconscious talking to you. And that is not true. Okay. Mitch says, I feel it's odd. Ghosts don't share that part of their living life experience. A lot of them do, Mish. A lot of them do. And they want to talk about it. But people don't want to listen to them. That's true. That's a fact. You might see the K2 going off. You might see everything else going off. But now I'm lost for words here, Mish. That's okay. I still love you. Okay. Let me gather my thoughts here. Let's go to a quick break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. There we go.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the last half hour of the show. My name is Sean Kelly, and everybody knows that I am the host of Into the Night. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, Sunday nights from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., and Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. This Tuesday, I'm going to have my friend Maxim Fuhrer come on, and he's going to talk about his new book. And also, there is a paranormal conference going on in Pennsylvania somewhere, and I know he's going to be one of the speakers in there, so he's going to talk a little bit about that too. Again, Kelly Smith, she couldn't make it here tonight, so I will definitely get her on again pretty soon, hopefully, to see everything, and we can talk to Kelly. Thank you, Heidi. Uh, don't be sorry, Mish. Seriously, it's all right. We love you. Hey, Buck Brown, good to see you, buddy. And then you're welcome. So, and so we are at the last half hour, and I want somebody to give me an animal. What was an animal somebody saw today? Can someone tell me what kind of animal they saw today? And then I'll look at it and we'll see what it's all about. Anybody? Any type of animal did anybody see? Not every. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't know why, but I don't know. The deer. I saw a deer today. Okay. And um, we're going to talk about medical meaning. The spiritual meaning of a deer centers on gentleness, intuition, and grace under pressure. Cindy, me and you, great minds think alike there. Seeing a deer or having one cross your path is widely viewed as a gentle reminder to trust your instincts, approach challenges with compassion rather than force, and remain alert yet calm in daily life. The core spiritual traits, gentleness and softness. True power does not require loud force. Softness and a kind heart are deep strengths. I think everybody in my chat room, everybody who follows me on my shows, they all have this deer energy because they have kind hearts and have deep strengths. Yes. A heightened intuition. Deer move with quiet awareness, urging you to listen to your inner voice in subtle sentences. Well, that's a good thing to ask everybody. Do you actually listen to your inner voices? Do you listen to them? Is there ever a time where you come to a situation where you're like, okay, maybe I should do this and maybe I shouldn't do that? Now, when that situation happens, is it your brain or is it your inner thoughts? How do you know which is which? Hard, it's kind of hard to realize. But for me, how I know the difference is it's like for me, I when I jump to a conclusion right away at something that I am thinking about, then I know for a fact, right, that I'm using my brain. But when there's a deep meaning to where I'm not thinking with my brain, but I'm actually listening to my heart, and I know it's coming from the inner voice, from my heart. Everything comes from my heart. Everything comes within inside. Anything that I jump to a conclusion with, everything is just my brain. And you know as well as I do, everybody, that our brain gets us into trouble a lot. Because we jump to a conclusion right away and it's not the right choice. Well, it usually isn't. Grace in transition, moving through difficult obstacles with fluid adaptability instead of head on collisions. Again, you use your brain, you're in for a head on collision. And I think we have many of those. Not just me, but everybody. The cultural meetings, Native American traditions viewed as a guide of deep sensitivity and kindness, teach adaptability and love. And I believe that. Okay. I believe that wholeheartedly because it can teach us to love. If you look at the deer, they are gentle. And look how well they take care of their fawns, their babies. Okay. The does, especially the does, they are just so gentle, so quiet, so peaceful. And that I believe that they are sharing and they are spreading love. Because tell me if I'm wrong, everybody. Tell me if I'm wrong. Everybody sees a deer, no matter where we're at, in the car, in the house, on our back porch. Whenever we see a deer, we smile. But, okay, when I see a buck, I see strength. I see courage. Cindy says, the deer I saw today was nursing her baby. Oh, that is sweet. And that's loving and nurturing, Cindy, which I think is like really, really cool. And, but the buck, on the other hand, when I look at the buck, I see this beautiful animal, this strong animal with the antlers, looking pristine, looking like a true warrior. But what I don't feel from the buck is that I don't feel that love and gentleness that comes from the doe. Does anybody ever else felt that about the deer? I think everybody has. That's okay. Everybody go home. Man, it's been quiet in the chat room. I don't know. And it's okay if they did. But I just look at a doe and I look at her babies and I see all the love that those babies get from their mothers. And I think we can all use the energy from the deer. I do believe that, yes. So everybody, if you see a deer, and especially a doe, okay, then you know that does are for a reason, to show you love, to show you that they care, and for you to be gentle instead of being like going off your rocker. Sometimes we need things like that. Sometimes we need signs of a deer. And Cindy says, yes, deer are a beautiful energy. And but look, not so much the deer. Look at all the other mother animals out there. Tell you what, especially raccoons, raccoon mums. Oh my gosh, gentle, but man, are they mean. I mean, I saw some. I forget what it was. Was it a squirrel that came close to one of the babies? And oh my God, that the squirrel didn't have a chance. But it was a mom protecting her babies. To me, by watching that incident with the raccoon and the squirrel, just proves a point to me. It proves that moms are the best at protecting their kids. It don't matter how old you are. And how we moms, well, that's crazy. Again, like I said at the beginning of the show, give your mom a call. And if she isn't around, find somebody, give them a call instead of send them a text message. Whatever you do not ignore them. Check up on them. They might not like it. They might think you're crazy. But I highly believe and I truly believe that You should. I don't know. But I'm going to do a reading tonight, and then I'm going to close off the show. I draw the cards. Everybody knows that I'm going to draw. I'm going to do a real quick break, and I'll come right back, and then we're going to do a reading. Okay? There's a couple more promos I need to play before we start. So, everybody, I'll see you back in 2. Okay, I'll go here again.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the last part of the show tonight. I'm going to give a reading out. Joe Fox, it's good to see you, my friend. It's always good to see you. How do you see fighters? Okay. Heart's back. Yeah. Did I do it right? Yeah. Thank you, Mish. Look at that. Okay, I did the heart rate. Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. Heart's back. So, okay, everybody, it's that time where I give a reading, and we're going to see where the reading goes. Again, thank you, Mish, for the welcome back, and Heidi for the welcome back. So, here with Kara. Oh my gosh, good to see you, hon. Here, good to see you, Kara. Alrighty, here we go. And I'm shuffling the animals. Shuffling the animals and shuffling the cards. Okay, so I shuffled them, cut once, cut twice, cut 3 times, and here we go, everybody. Here we go. Hold on. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. I don't know why that happened. At the beginning it happened, and now it's happening again, but it's okay. Something to stop me from giving you guys a reading tonight. There we go. It's crazy, this girl. I was just got done talking about this girl. Okay. How crazy. What's going on is that you out there doing some kind of new item type of thing. new kind of project, whatever, and you're out there gathering, how the squirrel gathers a lot of nuts, you're gathering all kinds of information that's going to help you go through this. And I'm telling you, okay, something good's going to be coming toward the sister squirrels. There you go. Oh, you see the what? The guinea fowl feather. Oh yeah, yeah, the guinea fowl. We talked about that before. The artwork on these cards are the greatest. But whatever you guys are working on, this is for everybody. Hey, welcome back, Cap. So whatever you guys are working on, gather all that information that you need for the new job, for the new path that you're going on. So really, really look at the squirrel as why the squirrel's in your card spread tonight, because you have to gather all the information just like the squirrel needs to gather all its nuts. And do you know what I found out something interesting about the nut? The squirrels goes and they take all these acorns and shit, right? And then they forget where they buried them, and that's where new oak trees are growing. Okay, get us. Okay, tell the cats I said hello. All righty. So again, so you're gathering all the nuts, you're getting all that fish, and now you got the wolf right there, which is great, because what you're actually doing with the wolf, okay, even though the wolf is the teacher, and it's showing you what you need to do with all the information that you gathered for the project that you are working on, okay. And to me, when I look at the wolf is howling up to great mystery, or to God, whoever you believe in, and it's telling your plans, what you want, what the scroll is working on. And the wolf is there not only to teach you what you need to do for this plan or this path that you're on or the thing that you're working on, but the wolf is there to teach you on how to go by and doing the instructions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in the meantime, the wolf is howling up there at great, at God, and or whoever you believe in. Then comes the turkey. Okay, no, it's not about Thanksgiving. Okay, when I see the turkey, it's just the male turkey, especially the male turkey I see in this card, and they're very protective of their space. They're very protective of all their hens. And whenever they get mad at you or they feel like that they're getting threatened, the turkey is there, and they blow up and then they thump their chest. It's pretty cool. But I wouldn't want to be on the end of one of those turkeys attacking me. No. But the turkeys are to protect you as you're working on this thing that you are planning on doing. And everybody, when I see, I'm going to take it back to where the squirrel. And this is all good for everybody. There's nothing bad. This is not a bad reading so far. It's just that you have to, instead of you just saying, okay, take this over, I can't handle this, but this is what I want. What it's basically saying is that you have to do all the footwork, all the hard work, and then you got in order to get where you need to be. Kara says, well, turkeys are scary when they chase you. Yes, they are scary. Yes, they are. So, but the turkey's there to protect you. The wolf is there to teach you. The turkey's there to protect you. But also with the wolf, it's expressing, it's whatever you're thinking, whatever you want to do, it is spreading, it's howling at the universe, not the moon. And then you got the wild boar. Okay, so you got the turkey protecting you, but the wild boar's coming along, because what I see in that wild boar is that there's a lot of people that want to distract you from it. They go around and dig up the farms, they dig up all the crops and stuff like that, and they're like a menace. Okay, so they're kind of like throwing roadblocks into you in this situation that you are doing. But you still have the protection of the turkey. Still have a wolf hanging around you. So there's nothing to be really afraid of. I believe when I look at the wild boar, I'm thinking it is your subconscious. I think it's, all the past mistakes that you have done in the past. And it's kind of stopping you from continue going forward. And it's not even so much you got the turkey and the wolf. It's just looking back at what you used to do and how things worked out for you. So, you have to kick that wild boar out of your thoughts and minds and continue working on your destination to get where you need to be. Um, Now, this is a new one, a prairie dog. And I kind of like this. What I see as a prairie dog is that, you got, is looking out. They're like the scouts. They want to check and see what the coast is clear. And if there's ever danger going on, there's people out there looking and watching your back. Okay. They are watching your back as you go because this thing that you are planning to do is going to work out. I have faith in that. I won't sell my house, but I can guarantee you I could take that to the bank that um, whatever you're working on is going to work. And don't doubt. Don't you ever doubt. Then the damn prairie dogs are going to be whistling in your ears and driving you crazy, is what it is. Now, the last card I'm pulling, oh, wow, check this out. Okay, the last card is the mountain lion. Okay, and with the prairie dogs and yelling and making that weird noise, being the guardians, the mountain lion is the one that's actually protecting you through this whole reading. The mountain lion is not a bad card in this reading. The mountain lion is here to keep people away. And I'm telling you, again and again before I go, thank you guys. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kevin. But the mountain lion is there to protect you. So continue being that squirrel and let the wolf teach you. Let the turkey protect you. Thank you very much, Cindy. I appreciate that. See you, Mish. Be safe. See you Tuesday night. Let the prairie dogs, you got the warthog, which means whenever you see the warthog or the boar, okay, the wild boar, um, don't let your past thoughts, don't let your insecurities get in the way of getting to where you need to be. And then then let the prairie dogs keep an eye on you in the back. And let the mountain lion protect you. So that is the reading for today. Oh, you're gonna that's cute, Kara. That's cute. I hope everybody enjoyed that reading. Kara says my sister and I was talking. Since Hooters is supposedly coming to our town, we're gonna open up a Roosters. That's good. That's funny, dear. That's funny. Cheers to you, my friend. Now, so back to the reading real quick. Basically, is work on the thing that's going to make it better. That's going to make your life a lot better. And let these other animals take control of protecting you. Yes, let them protect you. And I can guarantee it. I'm guaranteeing it now. Whatever you're working on, whatever you want in life, it's going to happen. Am I predicting the lottery for you? No, I'm not, because I'm not good at predicting lotteries or I wouldn't be here. But I'm just saying something that you need. It could be a relationship. It could be not a love relationship. It could be anything. Just let the animals protect you while you're doing your work, and everything will be okay. I guarantee it will be. Well, that is tonight's show. Okay. might end up here a little bit early than usual. I don't know, but to me, is okay. What's their roots or could do? You're funny. You're funny, Kevin. Thank you for being back. You make me smile. I don't know. I hope that the show tonight was good, and I hope Miss Kelly Smith is okay. And we will definitely have her on again. We'll get her on the show soon, as soon as she can. And I just think that every single one of you, thank you for letting me talk at the beginning of the show. And I ask that you pray for my mom. I do. I ask. Okay, and I truly appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you for being there and listening to my show. It makes the world, Don't forget Maximum Furyk is going to be on Tuesday night. Anybody have any last comments they would like to would like to say? Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. But pretty soon I'm going to get Heidi on the show and Ken and we're going to talk. Thank you, Kev. All right, Kara. See you later. I hope roosters work out right for you. That was funny. But children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, please go find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, they do go a long way. Always remember to follow your path. And remember when I talked last Tuesday, when I talked about mirrors? I don't know if anybody did that. But again, I highly recommend that when you wake up in the morning and you look into the mirror, to say to that person in the mirror that you are a beautiful person and that you are truly in love. Yes. Look at that person and say, hey, I'm a good person. I'm a very good person. So, and I hope you continue doing that every day, because it helped me out the most when I used to do it. I couldn't look at it at the beginning. I had a real hard time looking in the mirror. I did. But you know what? Now I can. Good night, everybody. I will see you Tuesday nights. Stay safe and sweet. Goodbye.